You know, we talk a lot about predatory lending, but I see the predatory lending coming from the Federal Reserve, interest at 1% overnight rates, loaning to the banks, encouraging the banks and investors to do the wrong things, causing all the malinvestment. These conditions were predictable. They were predicted by the Austrian free market economists. It should surprise nobody. And yet nobody resorts to looking to those individuals who were absolutely right about what was coming and what we should have done. Even as early as 7 years ago, I introduced legislation that would have removed the line of credit to the Treasury, which was encouraging the moral hazard and the malinvestment. But here it looks like now we're going to need $300 billion of new appropriations. So we need to look at the monetary system and its basic fundamental flaws that exist there, and then we might get to the bottom of these problems we're facing today.
Yeah, no, they are, and they're going to always react in the wrong way. They've created the problems. Mises, the great Austrian economist, said, you know, governments act, they create, trying to solve one problem, they create two new ones, and they go and try to solve those and just pyramid the complexity of our problem.
Congressman Paul, do you support a government program to stimulate the economy?
Well, government program is too vague. What kind of a government program? If it's appropriating money and trying to stimulate that way and spend more money, no, that would be the wrong thing to do. But a government program of a reduced tax burden, yes, that would be. Also, to solve this problem, you have to understand why we're in a recession. I believe we're in a recession. I think it's going to get a lot worse. If we continue to do the wrong things that we've done in the past, that it's going to be delayed, just as what happened in the Depression. But you have to understand that overstimulation in an economy by artificially low interest rates by the Federal Reserve is the source of the recession. The recession has been predictable. We just don't know exactly when it'll come. But if you do the wrong thing, it's going to last for a long time. The boom period comes when they just pour out easy credit, and it teaches people to do the wrong things. There's a lot of malinvestment, debt that goes in the wrong directions, consumers do the wrong things, and businessmen do the wrong thing. So we have to attack this and understand the importance of Austrian theory of the business cycle. If you don't, we're going to continue to do this, and the longer you delay the recession, the worse the recession is. And we've delayed a serious recession for a long time. The housing market is already in depression. And a lot of people are hurting. The standard of living in this country is going down. Look at what's happening to the dollar. And what is being offered by the Federal Reserve and Treasury and everybody in Washington? Lower interest rates. Well, lower interest rates is the problem. Artificially low interest rates is the artificial stimulus which causes the bubble, which allows the inevitable recession to come. So what we need to do is deal with monetary policy and not pretend that artificial stimulus by more spending is going to help. That won't do one bit of good.
How do you do it? You have been run through the mill. I don't agree with you on everything, but on finances I do agree on, and you've been right on finances, and America is just catching up to you. How do you do it? Do you ever get so frustrated where you're just like, I can't ring this bell anymore?
You know, I never use the word frustration. I tell people I just have real low expectations, that all of my job is to try to point out the truth as I understand it, you know, according to our Constitution and according to sound economic policy. And I've been a student of Austrian economics, and I believe they're right, and I'm convinced they are, and I believe that you shouldn't have paper currencies. And I just argue from that case with the full conviction it's the right issue. But, you know, I don't worry about tomorrow, the next day, and whether people are going to believe. I'm, matter of fact, pretty pleased and surprised that in the last year or so that so many people have begun to listen. So I'm pleased about that.
There's more and more, and you give it another couple of years, and it's going to be outrageous. Congressman Paul, thank you very much.